So I received an email from a friend recently, and she asked me what to do about a relationship, a long-term friendship that she's had that's caused her a lot of pain in the past, and a lot of good times too, it sounds like, but this person could potentially be in her life again. So I wanted to talk about the law of resonance related to this question. So sometimes people are in our life or they leave our life and they come back into it and they aren't necessarily meant for us at this point in time. And we have a tendency to think relationships, especially those with history or strong ties, are bound to us and we to them through loyalty. We think we can love anyone. And yes and no, we can love anyone. Our hearts are boundless, and it's possible to love beyond time and space and into other dimensions. And it's also possible to love someone from afar, and sometimes necessary to love and appreciate them while knowing you can't be in a relationship with them, even if you had been in the past. So, as an example, let's say a person comes into our life, say we make friends, childhood friends. This is a childhood friend, someone with whom you've spent formative years, because these are the deepest friendships and relationships that we can have. And so, obviously weighs heavy on our hearts when something happens or if we're considering being in or out of a relationship with them. So imagine over the years we change, and so does our relationship. And imagine you've had some falling outs with this person, some really bad ones, like full of the core issues that we all have: betrayal, rejection, abandonment. This person touched on one or all three of those. Maybe you were strong enough to get through one or two of these episodes and just stay in contact or reestablish the connection. Maybe you took space and you healed yourself through it. Still, it's the kind of the relationship about which you might say when it was good, it was really good, and when it was bad, it was very bad. Now, imagine this person reaches out to you out of the blue one day, and they want to reestablish the connection. And you read the email or you listen to the voice message on your phone, and you're wary, and rightfully so. Because in fact, if you listen deeply within, you might hear a no way. But your ego jumps in, and it will in this situation. Your ego says, I've changed, I've healed. I'm no longer the same person that I was then. And maybe you got some or a lot of learning out of whatever you went through with this person. And you had some major epiphanies around your own patterns. You were actually able to see why the dynamic you shared went south with this person, and you can own your part in it. You think, I was 50% of this equation, of this problem, and I healed that pattern. And so I would not fall into that same pothole. And I'd say, good for you, right? That's awesome. Taking responsibility and growing through these hard difficulties with people. But that doesn't mean you wouldn't fall into the same pattern or pothole again. The other person still carries that energy, and eventually you would encounter it again. No matter how healed you are or how strong you think you are now, even if you think you don't have a button to be pushed, it likely will be pushed, because this is the person who has pushed it. So you really need to only ask yourself one question. Are we truly in resonance? If you're not in energetic resonance, they can be the most amazing person in the world by anyone else's standards and even yours, but ultimately their energy does not work with yours. So resonance is a law. I think of it as a law of Venus, because Venus is the goddess charging all things harmonious. So when you resonate with another's energy, you are personally enhanced, intensified, and enriched by their energy field. So you can see this in a physics experiment. It's a basic physics experiment that you may have seen in elementary school, or you can even watch online. So when one tuning fork is hit with a mallet and a certain frequency or note is sent into the air and it's heard by all, if there's a second tuning fork, it actually picks up on that same frequency and starts producing at that same frequency. So they begin resonating together. So what happened? The energy of the first tuning fork carried in the air is attuned to the other tuning fork. They're connected by energy in the air. So what results is an amplification, a richer, deeper, more enhanced sound. So when someone is in resonance with you and your energy, they amplify and enrich your natural energy. When they are disresonant with you, the energy will feel off key in some way. If you've ever listened to a tuning fork trying to tune an old piano, you can kind of sense how this is. This is you attempting to resonate with someone's energy that is disresonant for you. It takes a lot of work. It takes energy. And when you do establish that resonance one day and have that victory, you'll have to keep reestablishing it over and over again with them, which can be exhausting. So I'm going to give you an exercise, a way to tell how resonant your relationships are with your own energy. And I want you to close your eyes, and you want to be in a quiet, private space, and take some nice deep breaths. And you want to ground your feet into the earth, as well as your sits bone, your butt bone. And you want to imagine yourself in a nice neutral space, like a nice neutral inner space, like a landscape. You might picture a forest or a lake or a pool or a beach or desert. Wherever you picture, though, it's somewhere you feel in your element and you feel your energy. This is your energy. It's all around you. It's reflected by the environment around you. It's beaming backwards. In other words, the environment's resonating with your energy and you with it. So bask in that experience, for a few moments or a few minutes. Really tune in to what your energy feels like. Is it gentle? Is it fun? Is it energetic? Is it calm? There usually will be a sense of calm and peace if you're really tuned in to your energy. Now, when you're ready, bring that person into this space in your imagination. You can just imagine them walking onto the scene. And notice you're still in your body. You're still in all your sensing body right now. How does your energy feel? How does your body feel? What do you sense? If they are disresonant, you will have the energy of intruder, or this feels off key, or I'm having to adjust, or you may even feel a spike in your emotions. You may have a thought that starts causing emotions. So we're not judging, you're just noticing. If you have a history with this person, you may start thinking about the story. And that also creates energy, positive or negative, and that gives you information. So know that if you are not resonant, your ego may likely start arguing or questioning the energy that you feel. So let's say you feel like a little pushback when this person comes into your space. It's like you can kind of sometimes feel when somebody kind of says no to you, you can feel that energy of no hit your energy body. It's kind of like a pushback, something like somebody actually pushing against you. So if you're not resonant, you feel that, and your ego may start kind of arguing or wrestling with that, questioning it. Like, oh, that didn't feel good, but it's not that bad. Or maybe it's just my negative thinking about this person. Or of course I would have this experience because we have a, sketchy relationship history. To simplify this exercise at this point, know that whenever you think about another person, you are tuning into their energy. You don't even need to do this exercise to know whether you're in resonance or not. Thinking about another person who you're experiencing conflict with will cause you distress, disresonance. Thinking about a person you are good with feels neutral or fine. Resonance. So it's obvious. So there are degrees of resonance, and I definitely have different degrees with different relationships. Some are richer, deeper, more multifaceted. Some really bring out, all of my notes. Others are lighter and different, but noticeably fine. Okay, it's okay. It's okay for me to be in the energy field of this person. And I should say, too, that this can change. It can be okay in the sense of like, okay, this isn't the best energy field for me to be in, but I can definitely be okay with it under certain conditions. When I'm feeling good and the sun's shining, or, I'm not around another negative person or whatever. And then other days when you're around that negative person and that same person's in the room too, or, you have PMS or you have a headache, that same person's energy can feel like hugely clashing, like cymbals clash, not resonant. So there will be relationships like that are less resonant. And it's just worth noticing how resonant your relationships are with you. And then there is the relationship that is disresonant. And you will know it when you ask your energy body, because it will not feel like music. It will not feel okay. Just thinking about them will make you feel off somehow, off key, or start your mind spinning into justifications, and if you really tune in deeply enough, you will feel almost like static in your energy field, just thinking about them. So what you need to remember about the law of resonance is it's not a judgment. This is not proof of your love, loyalty, how healed you are, how capable of forgiving you are, or whether you're a compassionate and understanding person. That's not what this is about. You can actually love a person from afar by simply seeing their energy as an objective reality that is different from yours. Likewise, to force yourself to be in a disresonant relationship will create lots of work at best, and at worst, you may keep reenacting the same old dance steps, the same pattern, the patterns of betrayal, abandonment, and rejection. So know when you're willingly going forward into a disresonant relationship, you are making yourself very vulnerable to those things. Because resonance is an objective, energetic reality. It really is. There's no judgment on either side, on either party. Just because one person's energy isn't resonant with mine doesn't mean they're not resonant with somebody else. It's just a law of Venus, and the more you get to know that in yourself, the more you obey the law of resonance, you will start to have much more satisfying relationships and more aware and conscious relationships.